With games coming thick and fast, I promoted a couple of youngsters to the first team. Kobe Mainoo gave away a penalty on his debut and almost cost us the win over Burnley. But Anthony Elanga scored the only goal of the game against Brentford. Alejandro Garnacho was named European Golden Boy, which infuriated Christian Eriksen so much he's demanded to leave the club. Although someone else has left the club. Harry Maguire linked up with Spurs on January 1st after we sold him in the last episode. And so we picked up 10 points from an available 12 in between episodes, putting us on level terms with Arsenal, who are only ahead of us on goal difference. You join me today on the 1st of January, where the transfer window is now open. We had a falling out with Anthony, and I want to get rid of him, although it might be a little bit tricky at the start of the window, given he's got another 2 weeks left on his injury. Transfer, ask agent about market interest. We are desperate to sell Anthony, and good news, there are some clubs interested at between 34 to 35 million. A little bit low for me, but a bunch of clubs in the Bundesliga want him, so hopefully someone comes in. Christian Eriksen is also demanding that he's going to leave the club at the end of his contract in 18 months' time, so we might as well just try and speed that up right now and try to get him gone. We are keen to sell Christian Eriksen. Freiburg wants him for about £19 million. Let's bring the deal in then and see what happens. Donny, I don't think anyone's going to want him. We are desperate to get rid of him, and no one wants him right now. Let's offer him out via the transfer room for about £10 million. Malacia is never going to play for us either. Will the agent be able to find someone? There are some clubs interested. Okay, bring them in. Although one player I do want to keep is Rafa Varane, and he's got a bid on the table from Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia for 41 million, rising to 51. But he's only 30 and he's still pretty decent, to be fair. Not enough money for me. I'm going to hold out for like 70 million from Saudi. Stuttgart putting 11 million pounds on the table for Malacia. We'll accept that and we will reject these other loan options. Freiburg only want Eriksen on loan until the end of the season and then make it £19 million for a permanent transfer fee. Although they're also paying, is that £15 million over 2 6-monthly instalments to have him on loan? Because that does say £38 million right. That seems very reasonable. Only loans being made for Anthony right now. No one wants to bring him in on a permanent. The wages are like 10%. I'd rather keep him, to be fair, and use him this season in a rotation option than let him go for this. I mean, to be fair, they're paying a lot of money per month for him in a loan fee. Oh, and again, they're paying 28 million. I don't understand why they're all offering me so much money to take these players on loan. So that overall price is 66 million. And they're all offering that, aren't they? All 34 future fee, 28.5 loan fee. Well, I will accept all of those then. The downside is we're not going to have the money that I thought we were going to have to bring someone in right now. But I can live with that, you know. I'm fine with it. And Newcastle making a bid for Donny van der Beek. You love to see it. It is £5 million loan fee and then £6 million after he plays 10 games and signs them on a permanent deal. I accept. Let's get it done. More Saudi bids for Varane as well. They're all after him. Do Al Hilal want to up their bid to 75 and then, you know, pay an extra 25 down the line? I mean, how cheeky can we be? £100 million total. What? They're even sports washing in Football Manager, and I'm here for it. Well, surely Al Ali aren't going to match that, right? 75-25 suggest, and they're backing it all the way down, although they're offering me 29 up front, or 30, and then 71 down the line. I would prefer the other bid because I get the money up front right now and I need it, so reject that. Oh my word. What is happening here? Al Ittihad now making £80 million up front, and then they're paying... Look, we can get this up to more. We can get to 90 here. 90 and 30, 120 million. Eriksen off to Freiburg. See you later. Enjoy your time in Germany. And now Al Nassr have come back in with £91 million for Varane. Surely we can't get 100 up front, right? If we get 100 up front, that is just ridiculous. 100 up front, 20 down the line, 120 million. This is so easy. Every time I think this negotiation is outrageous, they're not going to accept this, they just, yes, we'll take him. That was a really rubbish click as well. In the meantime, we actually have to play a game. We are taking on Arsenal in the FA Cup third round. It's quite a difficult draw. We are going to be playing without Varane on the pitch. I think we'll clear his head, get him off on the bench and bring on Oh, God, there's no one I want to bring on the bench. We'll start Rashford, though, ahead of Elanga and submit the team and go to the game. Now, there is one thing the Saudis should be spending £100 million on, and that is the TomFM football shirt right now. You've only got the weekend to pick it up before it goes off sale forever. Monday goes off sale forever, maybe Tuesday. It's one of the two, but don't risk it. I'd get it over the weekend if I was you. Link down to the description to Hope and Glory, pick it up, and then once they're off sale, they are off sale forever. In the meantime, we don't seem to be doing an awful lot right now early on in this Arsenal game, but Casemiro finds Dalot, who's played pretty well when he has played. Probably isn't getting enough credit this season for what he has done for us, as Fernandes has been put through by Garnacho, and Fernandes gets his 10th goal of the season. He's already got 10 assists. This man is insanely good. But it would be quite nice to go on an FA Cup run this season. Silverware is always something we should be aspiring to win as Manchester United, so if we get knocked out in the third round by Arsenal, it's, you know, I don't think we can be too upset by it on the grounds that Arsenal are currently level on points with us in the league. They are top of the league on goal difference. It's not like we're losing to Fleetwood away, but it's a real statement of intent, especially in the league. If we can beat a full-strength Arsenal side here, it does go to show that we can beat them in the league and we should be winning that title. We get into half-time though. The score is 1-0 to us, so that's a pretty decent position to be in. Lots of credit from the media. Go out there, put on a worthy display, and I expect us to come back at the end of this 90 minutes into the fourth round draw. Garnacho, far side of the pitch, looks to bring the ball forward, puts a cross towards the middle where somehow almost gets through to Gonzalo Ramos there. Man United give the ball away there, and Arsenal pick it up and then give it straight back to the Koopmeiners. Edge of the area, shoots over the bar. Right, 70 minutes on the clock. We'll make a couple of changes here. Ramos is not playing well. We'll swap him with Rashford and bring Sancho on, I think, on the left-hand side. We'll also bring Casemiro off as Scott McTominay, who's coming back from his injury, and Kim's a bit tired, so this could be Varane's final appearance in a Man United shirt. Fortunately, the clock is ticking down. The players who have come on seem to be doing their job of keeping things steady. Less than 2 minutes on the clock, only 4 minutes at a time to go now, and there is a highlight. If Arsenal score at the death here, I will be really frustrated by this, as Fabio Vieira finds Nketiah completely open. Well, looks like we're going to have an FA Cup replay. Malacia, off to Stuttgart, £11 million. Thank you very much for your service of being injured the entire time you were here. We are in the FA Cup fourth round. I'll skip it. Who do we get in the FA Cup fourth round if we beat Arsenal in the replay? Oxford. Wow. So Anthony is on his way to RB Leipzig on loan for the rest of the season. So we get £29 million for that, and then an optional future fee of 35 million. So he's gone. We had a big bust up last episode and I didn't want him at the club. So now we have 56 million kicking around. Oh, of course, Donny also going, £5 million up front, and then I think we get 6 million when he does move eventually. And Varane is all set to join Al Ittihad for £120 million. We get 100 million up front, 20 down the line. Accept that. Wow. That's just ridiculous. Also, Harry Kane has just moved to Al Ahly as well for 138 million. So now we've got 162 to spend. Reece James. Ask agent about availability. We're very keen on bringing him to the club. 187 to 205 million. I'm not very keen on bringing him to the club now. He's not as good, but Juan Foyth would be a really good inverted fullback on the right-hand side. I mean, currently we're using Diego Dalot or Victor Lindelof as the inverted fullback on the right-hand side. I feel like it is the weak point of our team. If we're not going to splash the cash on Reece James, I think Juan Foyth might be the man. And £42 million release fee clause actually feels fairly reasonable. Declan Rice, only 79 to 96 million pounds. Like, what does the agent say? Oh, he says a lot more. 118 to 150. What about Caicedo to eventually end up replacing Casemiro, ball-winning midfielder? 87 to 132. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. Like 95, and they want loads more. No. Although I would pay that money for Kimmich. I would. Discuss with agent. 85 to 107. Now, the wages are going to be massive, and he's brought them down to just a lovely £300,000 per week. But if we put like 90 on the table for Kimmich, right, and they want 123, can we just do a flat 100? How about that? With 20 after 50 league games. That's tempting because I don't think we'll be here for another 50 league games. Can I bring that down to 90 up front and leave that 20 there? And they say yes. So all of a sudden, Juan Foyth for 42.5 million feels like an absolute steal here. 100k a week, lad, he agrees to that. Kimmich, on the other hand, that is going to be quite tricky, I think, particularly on 300. Can we get down to like 250? I mean, that's reasonable enough, right? 250. He wants more. 275. Please do 275. Please 300. Please. Right, have it your way. Good news, Diogo Costa is now back from injury. I have learnt my lesson. Dean Henderson, you will be on the bench now, please. Kim is travelling to the South Korean squad. What have they got? Asian Games, of course. Right, so that was a poor time to sell Varane, actually, because we're now going to miss Kim for quite some time. Bring Baturina on for a game, I reckon. And maybe we'll bring Sancho on for Rashford, who's not played great in his past few games. Everton having a better season in-game than they are in real life, which isn't that difficult, really, to be fair. Everton just are one of those teams that seem to just avoid relegation every single time by the skin of their teeth. Although, did I read somewhere that's meant to be getting a 12-point deduction for something? I don't really know what, because I didn't read the article, obviously. But if that happens, that will surely, if it's this season, guarantee them to the Championship next season, alongside Sheffield United, who I am already confident in saying will be relegated. I've not seen a worse team in a long time. Don't let that distract you from the fact that Everton have just taken lead against us. And we've not really done much, I must say, in that first half. Thrash the arms, terrible so far, sort it out. Highlight straight from kickoff as Gonzalo Inacio gives the ball into Casemiro, forward to Bruno, and out wide to Garnacho, who's got acres of space down this near side of the pitch to find Dallo, who's got even more space to find Inacio, to find Casemiro, puts the ball to Baturina, edge of the area, off the crossbar. I really do think we're seeing more woodwork in FM24 than FM23, and apparently it was an issue in 23. I never noticed it. But I'm noticing it a lot here in 24, which is, considering it's not meant to happen as much, it is annoying. Like, I feel we see someone hit the post at least once a match at the moment, which doesn't feel unreasonable, but I watch most Lincoln City games and no one ever hits the post there, but that is also League One and no one's any good, so that's also maybe playing into it a little bit. Garnacho on the ball then, bringing it forward. We've got three guys ahead of him and Garnacho can find one of them in Jadon Sancho, who gets it into the penalty area, puts it across for Ramos, and it's somehow saved by Pickford. Oh, this is ridiculous now. I can't believe we are not doing anything in this game. Rashford on your come, Coop Miners on your come, even Scott McTominay, he might do a job. Okay, 3 minutes to go in this game, and there's a chance for us, hopefully, although we are passing it backwards to Diogo Costa, the keeper. Everton keeping some high lines here, not letting us get forward, but a nice ball into Coop Miners there, finds Bruno Fernandes. Oh, he just had time to run into the area to get a better shot off, but he just couldn't, and now we have lost to Everton. Arsenal have got a game in hand on us. They would win that probably, and they'll go 3 points clear. Oh no, they lost to Man City. That's so helpful. And just before we take them on in the FA Cup replay, Juan Foyth is here. I'm really happy about that, actually. It feels like a good deal. I know he's not quite Reece James we want in the first place, but there's no way Reece James is 3-4 times the player because of the price difference, right? And according to our coaches, Juan is the best right back we've got now. Garnacho also an international duty with Argentina under 23s. What's going on within the 23s? Of course, Olympic qualifying. So Sancho on the right, we'll bring on Rashford on the left, Juan Foyth on the bench, and actually we're going to start him today ahead of Dallo. Come on, we really want to get through this. We want to play Oxford, we want to win the FA Cup. Let's get this win. However, it's Arsenal on the attack to start things off, and Diogo Costa forced him to make a decent early save. But overall, this game seems really, really cagey, although we could be on the attack right now. Arsenal committed bodies forward there, and then we got a nice challenge on halfway. Rashford, greedy again. I mean, I know he's an inside forward, but we've seen other players play the inside forward role there and they pass it rather than shoot. Half-time 0-0. As you can see from the XG story though, Arsenal have had the better chances. Dig in and show me what you've got. And Ramos is motivated. A shame no one else is, but hopefully Ramos will go and score the goals now for us as Coop Miners can put him through. Surely Ramos, completely not quite open, finds Rashford. That's not going to end up very well for anyone else there because Rashford is going to shoot. Told you. But maybe we do switch things up just a little bit. Fernandes goes a bit further forward, advanced attacking midfielder on support. In fact, no, we'll make you on attack actually. Why not? Put you on attack. The whole tactic itself is more attacking now. Maybe I should have made changes there as well. Rashford on a 6.4. Let's see how this highlight ends up first. Juan Foyth, who is impressing on his debut, a 7 rating, the highest rated outfield player right now. Luckily, they didn't score off that because that would have been his fault. Rashford, off you come for Alanga, I suppose. Sancho, we haven't really got any other wingers to bring on, so Sancho stays on the pitch, I think. Batterin is going to come on for Coop Miners. Although we could put Fernandes out wide and then bring on Isaac Hansen in the middle. Things will be better when we get Kimmich into a team. That's when things are going to be really good for us. 20 minutes to go, though, and Kai Havertz, shoot... How's that gone in? To be fair, match stats wise, 14 shots for Arsenal, 4 to us. They do deserve it on the balance of things, and as the clock ticks down, there's not an awful lot we can do now. So we're out the FA Cup, but we're still in the Champions League. That's the one we want to win. We won't, but I want to. But we won't be losing any more games, because look who is here. Joshua Kimmich, accept it. Bring him into the club, a 28-year-old elite midfielder. He is probably the best player in our team right now. Look how good he is. Oh, he's just got 20s all over the shop. He genuinely makes Casemiro... Oh, hang on. Why is Casemiro better? Well, maybe we don't play him as a ball-winning midfielder, because by looks of things, Casemiro's got better defending, better mentals, and is better in the air. So he might be better suited, actually, to be the ball winner. Can he do Mazzala? He didn't really like it, does he? Can he do advanced playmaker? Yes, he can. So we're now in a situation where actually it's like that. Casemiro, Kimmich, Fernandes. Now, I don't think I've made an error in spending 90 million plus on Kimmich, because I think he's very good. I probably should have checked if he was a better ball winner than Casemiro in-game, though, before I spent the money.